Big 1000 was well and completely done.
Most men were seen to be wearing bank robber style balaclavas to disguise their faces. Shocked by the scene, he said there was around 30 to 40 guys around her at any one time, all taking turns.
So last night, me and my future brother-in-law having a conversation, and all of a sudden the subject of OnlyFans comes up. Now, it's not the type of conversation that two dudes are usually having about OF, but instead, probably on the opposite side, where we're talking about how it has essentially been one of the worst things to happen in modern culture as far as relationships between men and women. And we not only got into like the effects it's having on women's brains and, how young women are moving through life and how they're seeing this as something that is normal, but more so on who the hell are the guys behind this. Like, it's easy to point out, the 304 culture and these streetwalkers on camera who are exploiting themselves and objectifying themselves. That's real easy to get into. But how about we also get into this conversation? Who the hell are the freak, nasty gooners on the other side of that screen? Because in order for anything to continue to exist, there must be a demand for that thing. If there was no longer a demand for this phone right here, it would cease to exist tomorrow, and Apple would look for the next thing that we actually want. The only reason that OF exists and is not only surviving but is thriving as a model right now is because there's somebody on the other side of that screen who is willing to pay the $5.99 or $4.99 or $9.99 or whatever the hell they're paying for a subscription every single month. There's somebody who's willing to send over donation after donation. There are dudes who are willing to give money that they do not even have in order to get some sort of pretend affection from one of these 304s on the other side of that camera. That's the reality of this, folks. And this sort of behavior is not only freaky and not in a good way. It's not only nasty. It's not only creepy and demented, but it is making men weak. It is bringing out the very worst qualities. You are a slave to your addictions. And when you have an addiction like this one, when you are given over to this level of lust, when you cannot control your own impulses, when you are ruled by your sensuality, everywhere you go, all you're seeing is meat. All you're seeing is a hole. I see it all the time. I got a beautiful woman in my life. And the way that some dudes just be looking, and it really made me recognize, open my eyes to, damn, these dudes will look at anything passing, they can't control themselves. They are given over to the spirit of lust, and it is destroying them. And they can't even see it because it is so normalized. I mean, until I was around 21 years old, I thought it was impossible to live without gooning. I thought that you had to. I thought what makes you a man is to get the draws, right? What makes you a man is to lay up with as many girls as possible. That's what I was told. That's what I was taught. And so gooning was just the next, the next consequential thing. If you didn't have the real thing, then you could get the synthetic thing. And that was not only promoted, but it was, it was made to be something that is a part of manhood. Men just do this. This is what the fellas do. And it wasn't until I made a conscious decision to stop consuming the content, to stop watching it, and to stop engaging in that sort of behavior, that I really got to see just how weak I was before. The man that you see in front of you right now, whether you like me or hate me, the man that you see in front of you right now, whether you respect me or not, is a man who is a byproduct of those decisions that I made to let go of the things that had a chokehold on my life, the things that I was beholden to. I was beholden to the female validation. And let's not get it twisted, fellas. That's exactly what you're chasing. When you're chasing them draws or the synthetic version of it online, you are chasing validation. Why do you care so much about being seen, so much about being noticed? If only she saw me, if only, maybe I'll become an alpha male. Maybe I'll become a high value male. Then they'll see me for who I am. Can't you validate your own damn self? And I'm saying this like a big brother or a little brother who loves you. Because I give a damn about you, I'm willing to tell you the whole truth. You are seeking validation. It is actually a deficit that this is coming from. I'm not saying don't go out there and work out and get the muscle. I'm not saying don't go out there and work your ass off and build something worth of value and get the money. I'm not saying don't go out into the world and make something of yourself. I'm not saying don't be influential in the world. But what I'm saying is when you are doing these things for the sole focus of getting the attention and the perceived affection of some chick with a damn BBL or with some natural cheekage and some big tatas, if that's what you're doing, you've lost the entire plot. And that's why you go through life. You can't even go through one day without seeing a woman just as a human being. And you don't even know that what you're doing is you're deifying. You're objectifying, but you're also deifying. You're over there salivating like a damn pup. You can't even see it. And this is the hardest thing to get across is when you have something so justified in your mind, like this is what we do, but this is normal, but this is natural, but we need to do this. This behavior is natural. And I'm not even a no-fap, like that's not my brand or anything of that nature. Even though some will call me that, they might call me the extreme version because I haven't engaged in that type of activity for almost 10 years now. I might have had, 2 or 3 situations in between, but God honest truth, beyond 2-3 times in 10 years, because I came to realize, wait a minute, this thing is destructive. This thing is not only destroying the relationships that I'm looking to actually have or the relationship, because I've always been a man who is focused on building a foundation, a stable foundation. I wanted marriage. I wanted kids. And I'm, again, on that pathway right now. Call me blue pilled if you want. Call me purple pill. I don't give a damn what pill. What I became was sane pilled. What I became was able to move through life without being a damn fiend pill. That's the pill I'm on. Because you are a fiend. You are an addict. And when you can be honest about this is when you begin to change. The men, and I can't even use that word in its full context, the males, adult males, who are given over so much to this that they're willing to give their money. And I don't care if you're somebody on the side of, the unpaid subscriptions or whatever the hell you're watching for free. I'm talking to you too, but there's a different mentality that takes you from there into now you're paying for this thing. This means that you're looking for something. You're looking for some sort of, again, validate. You are going to send the donation so that somebody sees you, so that she looks at your comment, hopefully, and maybe she starts to grow affection towards you. You want to be seen, you want to be noticed, you want to be recognized, as well as just the physiological addiction that is formed. There's a psychological element to this. In the same way, a lot of those women on the other side of that screen, they're looking for attention because they believe attention is love. They're looking for validation. They're looking to be seen to be a somebody. They're really damaged individuals, whether or not they like to point towards their own trauma, whatever it may look like. They're using this as a means to fill a certain void or a perceived void. It's the very same thing with the dudes, just in a different form. When you are a dude who is inside of a quote unquote gentleman's club and that chick is stripping it all off right there on stage, you are no different. You are no different as a dude in there than the chick who's up there. Y'all are both of y'all are addicted to something. Both of y'all are looking to fill a perceived void. She may be looking for validation, attention. She may be looking for that, but you're looking for something as well. And if you are not able to face yourself, if you're not able to really introspect and look at what the hell is it that I'm trying to fulfill, you will forever be a slave to that addiction. I promise you that. I promise you. On the other side of a Bonnie Blue is a dude who is equally as damaged. Who's the guy? Not only, the 1000th in that damn line. And for those of y'all who don't know who Bonnie Blue is, thank God you are living in the timeline and in the alternate universe that you are in right now. Thank God that you are in a parallel dimension right now. But for those of y'all who know, the Bonnie Blues of the world, who is the dude who is first in line as well as 1000th in line? Every single one of those dudes, there's some going on. There is a psychological defect right now. And I'm not going to call it something that you're born with. It's something that you are conditioned into, programmed into. And we really have to figure this out. You know, I said when I first put out a video on OF, I said, I'm on a campaign to cancel this thing. I'm on a campaign to end it. But I know ending it is not just, you know, as they say, chop the head off the hydra type of thing, like chop the head off the snake. Another one will grow. I understand that you got to go to the root of it. You got to pull his heart. You know what I mean? You got to get rid of that heart. That thing's got to stop beating, and then the monster will fall. But if you don't do that, man, to hell with it. Forget about it. There will be another and another and another. And so we have to deal with these things at a root issue. I know it's not easy. It's probably going to be one of the hardest things you do in your life to really face, why is it that I'm so given over to this? I have these same conversations with folks who, you know, might be addicted to food, might be addicted to, you know, validation in other forms. Shopping's your addiction, whatever it looks like. Chemical dependency. I came out of a chemical dependency myself. Have been sober close to 10 years, the exact same timeline, close to 10 years at this point. I believe this coming September 1st will be 10 years for me. And I saw dudes I call my brothers lose their lives to this. So you may be thinking, well, it's not that bad. It's not hurting anybody. I'm just doing it myself. I need this. Okay, go ahead and go through life, a full, fulfilled life, holding on to that crutch, holding on to that compulsion. Go ahead. See where it lands you in life. And I don't even like to do the comparison game like that, but see where you end up in comparison to somebody who doesn't. Y'all, if you are in competition with me and what I do, the reason I know you will never catch up is not because I believe I'm the greatest, I'm whatever, you know, greatest things since sliced bread. I know because I gave up every single thing that I saw that was holding on to me. Everything that possessed me, I let go of. And when I recognize something else, I do everything in my power to let go of that thing so it lets go of me. So I let go of the dope that was in my life. Check. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I let go of the whipping, the beating of the steak. I'll put it that way. The gooning. I let go of that. I let go of the consumption of what was turning my mind into nothing more than an overly sexualized machine. I let go of that. I let it go completely. There's not moderation for me. Sugar. I let go of sugar. I said, this thing is weighing me down. Carbohydrates. I can't have these in my life and thrive in my life. And all of them have made a difference. All of them have made a difference. I see people I graduated with and I'm like, damn, why does it look like some of them aged 10 years faster? Well, it's not that. It's because you have made decisions that have essentially kept you more youthful and allow you to be the healthiest that you can be now that you're entering into your 30s and you continue to go forward. These are decisions we make that are going to make the difference between a man and a sad excuse for one. And if you can't go through life, without a crutch, if you can't face things as they are, I promise you all success, all fulfillment, all of that you're looking for is not going to be there, including and maybe even especially in your relationship. You can't even enjoy that. You might end up having ED. You can't even see your woman and you can't connect and bond with the one that you're with. In the same way, those chicks who are on OF, they're going to have problems bonding. A lot of them are going to come out of it even more depressed, even more traumatized. They're creating trauma upon trauma. And now they're begging for somebody to see them and to love them. And even the man who they end up with doesn't really have the ability to connect to them in the same way. Might have a child with them or whatever, but in the back of their mind will always have, and now they have to settle and you have to. Nobody wins in this situation. And it is possible to be the young man who was in the very beginning of this video. To be the one who says, nah, that's not me, because I have a value, a moral, a standard that is higher than that. I have a spiritual obligation that is greater than whatever it is that you're offering, period. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you found value in this content. If you want to show some love or some support, you can go ahead and send a Cash App or go ahead and buy me a coffee by clicking the link below, literally titled Buy Me a Coffee. Till the next time, peace.
fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see